What's going on, guys? So this is part 3 of Alexander whooping some ass in Civ. No, I'm just kidding. But we took over Egypt, and we took over that city-state so we could get some extra niter. At this point, I'm starting to send my entire army over to Rome, because those are the next sorry souls that we're going to conquer, is Rome. Which is kind of ironic, considering that Rome conquered Macedon in, you know, about 100 years after Alexander died. So now we get to return the favor and conquer them, which is going to be fun. I'm going to go ahead and in about a minute I'll skip ahead to when I actually start to attack them, because this phase of the game lasts for about 15 minutes where I'm just kind of upgrading stuff with these builders that I built last episode. Just kind of improving tiles. Starting to produce gold again. Because gold has kind of been an issue. So we definitely want to increase that. So I will go ahead and cut to the combat in just a few seconds. Alright, and here we are. So we just declared war on Rome. I think this is probably about maybe 10 or 15 turns down the road. Don't know exactly. We basically had to wait until we could get wait till we could get niter enough so that we could upgrade and get some musketmen. Did I not build musketmen? Huh, that's weird. I have 20 niter for it. Well, I do eventually upgrade to musketmen, but interesting.
People can have the Model T in it.
I guess I opted not to upgrade to musketmen straight away, because I have a trebuchet core unit, which I used a great general from the medieval era to upgrade that into a core unit, so yeah, that makes sense. I'm just kind of sending everything up, trying to surround the city. It's starting to get to the point where my high pacifists are, while they're still strong, they're going to start to struggle against the city. I mean, that city's got basically 62 defense, so because there's a knight inside, so definitely need to upgrade those things. And the idea is I'm pretty much just going to bombard it with my siege units until I can convert it to my religion, then I'll finish it off with the melee units. Oh, that's why I didn't upgrade gunpowder yet. That makes sense. Okay. Which, lucky for me, like, Lady Blue Sky was also going to war with Rome, so there were a few turns where she was shooting, or he was shooting at her rather than me, so that was kind of nice. Good distraction. I think here what I'm doing is I'm taking Pingala and putting it in the city that has the Oracle. Because the Oracle basically, I believe it doubles the amount of great people that you get for that city. And so if you do Pingala, you essentially get like quadruple the amount of great people points. So that's why I did that. Okay, so next turn we have it converted. We'll have it converted to our religion, which would be really good. Even with it not in the religion, I mean, that trebuchet is just doing work on that city. It's kind of nice. Yeah, I'm just settling a coastal city here so I can start putting down a harbor. Because I want to essentially take over this whole continent as quickly as I can, and then I'll make harbors on various coastal cities and then build a strong navy and just kind of conquer the other continent by doing that. Navies are really good in this game, honestly. Like, really, really good. You can easily take coastal cities with just some navy units. Especially when you get battleships, because they have 3 range, so they don't even get shot by the city. You can just shell them from the ocean. It's really nice. $70 bombard. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Definitely think it's a really good idea. If you have the opportunity to make a core unit or an army, place it on your siege units. Which is why you want to have them, you know, from the very start so you can get them heavily promoted. But the siege units are going to carry you when you continue to attack by land, because eventually melee units aren't that effective because city strength just becomes so high, and battering rams and siege towers eventually become obsolete when the enemy gets renaissance walls. So at that point you kind of need siege units to like be able to do anything. So that's why I like to, you know, upgrade the siege units as much as possible. And just like that, we took Iridium. And then I'm going to make Angkor Wat? Is that how you say it? It basically gives you +1 population for every city in your empire. So because I have a lot of cities, it'd be a really good idea. Because essentially I'm just getting, you know, an extra like 12 pop added to my empire, which is pretty huge. And I'm also building Mausoleum of Halicarnassus as well. That's going to make the ocean tiles for that city basically have science, more production, and it's also going to add an extra build charge to great engineers, which is really good.
explosive gunpowder.
Yeah, it looks like we can finally get musketmen now. A little bit late. Generally, I like to get musketmen earlier, but getting Niter was kind of an issue. I had to take over a city-state to get Niter because there's no other place to get Niter, which was kind of annoying. But at least we got it. And yeah, when I'm trying to convert a city when I'm already going to war, I'll just send up my strongest units first to be adjacent to the city, and then I'll send the missionaries to go right next or to go right on top of them. That way they can't get killed from like the other civs melee units, unless they kill my melee units first, which, you know, could happen. But I think I end up losing like one crossbowman after I like conquer, you know, the rest of this continent. It's kind of funny because, like, I remember when I first got introduced to, like, playing with loyalty, I hated it. I thought it was the dumbest thing ever. But honestly, it's kind of nice because you can get it to work in your favor if you take all the high pop cities and, you know, they're just left with, like, you know, just a few straggling cities that are low pop. You don't even have to take them out. You could just go on to do other things, and the loyalty will take the cities for you. Like, I just take Rome, and basically the other two cities, I don't even attack because, you know, the loyalty takes it for me. It's quite nice. Guess here I'm trying to just figure out where to put my units at. There is a little bit of micromanagement that goes with domination. You gotta place your units in a way that they can attack the city and they can easily retreat if they get shot at. Because you don't want to lose anything. You want to try to keep everything alive, which sometimes can get a little bit tricky. And it looks like next turn we'll take the city. You know, nice and easy. Didn't lose anything. And we can kind of just keep the snowball rolling. Very nice. Oh, there's Rome.
A diplomat is a man.
What's really cool with Alexander is every time he takes a city, depending on what districts are there, he'll get Eurekas or inspirations every time he takes a city. So he can just get a bunch of them. I think I checked my tree at one point. I had a bunch of boosts. Basically, like all the boosts for the next era above me I had boosted because of all the cities I took. So Alexander is actually pretty good with science victory. You know, if you do high science while you're doing domination, you can get all these boosts to your technologies. It's pretty nice. Plus, it also helps a lot with era score as well. Makes it so that as long as you're attacking and taking cities, you're pretty much guaranteed a golden age every time. Funny how Niter is just like so easily available for every other civ. I mean, they just have Niter right there. They didn't use it, but they had it. Same thing with Lady Six Guy, you know, so there's Niter right there. And then there's, I think, another Niter kind of like at her capital. And then me, it's just like, nope, I had to take over a city-state to get Niter. It's like, of course. Like, I honestly feel like the game just does that on purpose. Just makes the rare strategic resources easier for the AI to get than the player. about to unlock bombards, which is going to be huge. Bombards are a pretty nice upgrade from trebuchets. They get some nice defense, where they're, you know, generally pretty tanky, and they also have an additional plus 10 bombard strength, so I kind of beeline for that after I get musketmen, because, you know, I do want to upgrade both my trebuchets to bombards as soon as possible. My navy's weak. I don't even have a navy, dude. You can see they're already starting to revolt. So we don't even have to conquer that city. That's where I think loyalty's pretty nice. Yeah, city's just getting worked. It's getting absolutely worked. Yeah, Rome has zero military strength. I guess they reach a point where they just kind of give up. They're just like, okay, I can't do anything against this person. Which is kind of funny. That's pretty much it for Rome. I mean, with that city taken, they only have 2 cities. One of them's already revolting, so I think I end up just, yeah, kind of just going after Lady Six Guy now. And I know that I spent, I would say probably 10 turns, maybe even 15 turns, where I basically just kind of saved up niter and upgraded my units. So I'll probably skip that and just go to the part where I actually like invade Lady Six Guy. So yeah, I'll go ahead and skip to that part, because otherwise it's just going to be an extra 15 minutes of just basically just me waiting to get more niter. So I'll see you then. Alright, so we are back in the future, and now we're attacking Lady Six Guy. So basically in that time I upgraded a few more units into musketmen. I also upgraded my trebuchet, the core one, into a bombard, and that's really what took so long, because I needed 40 niter to upgrade that thing. which took a while, which in retrospect I think in the future I think there's a policy card which halves the amount of resources that you actually need to upgrade units with. I should have just used that. That would have saved some time, but oh well. That bombard's going to be key, because yeah, that thing just does, yeah, a lot of damage. But I remember being like a little bit stressed out because, I mean, she has musketmen. She eventually gets infantrymen, or linemen, I believe it is. And, yeah, I basically had to rely on my siege units to take out the cities. I couldn't really rely on melee units anymore. So, again, that's why siege units are so good. When it comes to like building cities, like I'm a big advocate of getting like well-rounded cities, you know, like high population, high production, high amenities, you know, make sure every city can, you know, potentially hold its own and actually build something in a decent amount of time. So industrial zones are really, really important for that. Yeah, I think I actually, yeah, so I decided to take out this knight. That way I get the builder back, but also, you know, removes one of the defenders of the city. Because that musketman was kind of, like, low-key, a little scary. Yeah, there you go. See, they just upgraded that musketman to lineman. I was like, oh god. You know, like that was a little scary. So, you know, that unit's more upgraded than any other unit that I have, so you know, it was a little scary. But because it also gives them like around 70 defense strength in cities, which is quite a lot. And you know, it's a little hard to deal with, to be honest. But we still take the city. Yeah, you could see both of those cities from Rome are being converted at the same time. So yeah, he's already out of the game. pretty. Yeah, that thing is pretty scary. But I eventually chip it down enough that I could take it out. So that's a pretty big relief to kill that thing. Yeah, I really need to get my field cannon in the action. I think it has the promotion where it can fire twice, I think. I know it gets it. Maybe it didn't get it yet. That's incredible, like having field cannons that can shoot twice in a row like that. It's pretty nice. I think here I opt. Oh, I actually opt to get a musketman. Oh, okay. Alright. Maybe I felt like I needed more than 2 musketmen. And 80 bombard strength, like that's as much as artillery. It's pretty nice.
A vast tomb lies over me in Halicarnassus, of such dimensions, of such exquisite beauty, as no other shade can boast. Having seen it,
Oh, nice. So we did get Mausoleum of Halicarnassus, so that's good. It's a really nice wonder to get. Having that extra build charge on builders, or not builders, engineers, great engineers is really, really nice.
words of violence.
We have learned of our wisest minds.
I think I get to reform the coinage, so I get that extra loyalty. Even though I'm in a golden age, it it doesn't hurt. Yeah, with it under our religion now, it should drop like a fly now.
Independence.
The pen might not be might.
Okay, cool. We just got that city. Nice. Yep, and I just plopped down another harbor. Yeah, the city's ours now. And then I think I start going straight for Tikal, because that's another high population city I want to take control of. Luckily, it's already converted, so that's nice. God, the niter just comes in so slow. It's crazy. But I think I forgot there was some niter in one of Rome's cities that I still haven't put a builder on. I don't think. Completely forgot about that. Yeah, translator's really good. It basically makes it so that you essentially do like 3 times the amount of, because normally it'd be like 200 points added to your religion, and then it's like 600 with translator, so it's really, really good. There we go, there's the expert marksman, so then they can fire twice, which is just really, really nice. And I just send the musket in there, I think, to pillage that farm to just heal up faster. Yeah, and then I remember seeing that, like, oh, Napoleon Bonaparte, I can make an army. And I was just checking to see if I had more great person or great general points than everyone else, which I do, but I end up buying it with faith because, you know, that's just incredible. Taking one of your units and basically forming it into an army is just, it's really overpowered. You can see, like, that field cannon did some pretty nice damage to that city. That city's just dropping like a fly. It's nice. Come on, upgrade the trebuchet. Don't upgrade. Come on. Upgrade the trebuchet. I don't know what the heck. Why didn't I upgrade that trebuchet? Oh my gosh. Why didn't I do that? Whatever.
It is a beautiful
and
and important monument.
Once you
and an
start getting into
international
like the industrial era,
intercultural
like you
treasure.
really want to get
Unless and until it can be shared by
basically
both
the most
religions in
powerful
harmony,
siege units you
which
can
would be
if
a
you
grand
still want
idea.
to dominate
It
on
should remain
land.
a secular building,
Melee units are still
honoring
important, of
both
course, but
religions who have made it
it's really the
beautiful.
siege units that are going to take the cities out quickly.
Our people a railroad.
I forgot I was building that. I think that gave me an additional charge for my religious unit, so that's a pretty good one to get if you're going like for a religion. That one is that one's really solid. Yeah, and then I got the other city converted. Well, loyalty swapped is the right word for it. And just build another harbor. Yeah, and that was a pretty bad idea, putting that musketman there, like sandwiched right between the city walls and a barracks. It just gets absolutely lit up, and it just dies. So yeah, you want to avoid doing that. But that's why I like to have, 4 or 5 musketmen. That way I can afford to lose 1 or maybe even 2 and I'll still be fine, so not a big deal. And at this point, like, we're attacking the capital. Right now, the bombard doesn't do much to it. But that will change once we get the loyalty, or, well, once we get the religion, our religion on that city, then it'll start to do some pretty decent damage. I'm just moving everything up. And, like, that's why Alexander's so good. Look at everything is boosted because of all the cities I've conquered. It's nuts. Just absolutely nuts. I'm already making more science than everyone else, and then everything is boosted. It's nuts. I think here I start building a quadrireme so I can upgrade it. Just kind of prepping for that, large navy that I'm going to eventually make. it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to make like an early navy, you know, like making a navy in the classical era, it makes zero sense. I mean, it takes a while to get. I mean, first of all, galleys kind of suck. They only have 30 combat strength, and they can't heal unless they're in your territory, so you can only attack with it like 2 or 3 times, and then you have to retreat it. It's just kind of dumb. And then quadriremes, their range is... I mean, their range strength is, I think, the same as an archer's, so it's really not that good. It doesn't make any sense to make a navy in the classical era. It really doesn't. And you can't even explore with it until you get cartography, which is Renaissance. So it's like, there's really no point rolling an early navy, really. Maybe if you're playing as Norway, then maybe it makes sense, but for literally anybody else, it makes zero sense. Best to just wait till the Renaissance era. And yeah, that musketman just got smoked, which I was kind of surprised, to be honest. I mean, but they did attack it with, it died because it got shot twice, and it got attacked by that lineman, so that kind of makes sense. Yeah, just kind of chipping away at the walls. I like to place my musketmen on farms if I can, so that if they, you know, get low on health, I can just pillage the farm and get, you know, half my health back, so that's pretty nice. I'm definitely a fan of getting that 100% industrial zone adjacency. That's a really good card. Probably one of the best cards, red cards that you can use, honestly. And as far as getting adjacency with industrial zones, it's really easy. If you make an aqueduct, you place an industrial zone next to that, you get +2. If you make a dam, which you can, you know, with some little bit of planning, you can usually get an aqueduct and a dam next to each other. Put an industrial zone next to both of them, that's +4. If it's next to any sort of quarry, that's +1. So you can get some really nice industrial zones. And yeah, industrial zones are the best districts in the game, in my opinion. They just give you so much, basically so much free production. And also getting those great engineers, it helps with building wonders. They just add some really nice perks to your empire. So yeah, I'm a big fan of getting industrial zones. Because nothing really sucks more than like a city that has like no production. And it takes forever to make anything. It just sucks. When your units are really injured, they'll heal up fastest when you put them inside a city center. So I think that's what I end up doing with this field cannon. Is that? Yep, that's when I buy Napoleon Bonaparte. So I did that so I could basically take that other trebuchet and make it into an army, which is just OP as hell. Just absolutely OP. And then I send the musketmen up so that basically that lineman can't kill my cannon because of zone of control. So it wouldn't be able to actually go attack my cannon. So that's something you can use. You can use melee units to kind of block other melee units from advancing by just sending them up. That's another reason why I like to have them in front and then have your range units behind, because they can't really advance on the range units so long as the melee units are still there. And I just create a guru basically so I can heal my apostles, because I have 2 of them that are a little bit weak. Yeah, so I make sure to upgrade that to a bombard. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, then I do it. Yep. You want to make sure to upgrade it to whatever unit you need first before you make it into an army or a corps, because then it would take basically, if I were to make that a trebuchet army, it would take like 50 or 60 niter to upgrade it to a bombard, which would take forever. So yeah, upgrade it first and then turn it into that type of unit. And there we go. So now we have a bombard corps and a bombard army, which is just, that's really, really good. And they're both very heavily promoted. So yeah, I try to seek out those 2 generals that give you the corps and the army units, because man, they're just so good. So good. If you can get both of them, put them on your siege units and keep them alive, you should have absolutely no problem with domination. Like, even if the AI has like really high, you know, like defense cities. Yeah, time to test out that bad boy. So 97 bombard strength. That's a lot. That's really nice. So I should be able to take the city next turn, no problem. And that's huge, because like if I would have made musketmen corps and musketmen armies, I probably still would have been able to take the city, but it would have took so much longer because I think they had Renaissance walls. Meaning that, you know, my siege tower was basically useless. And I would have had to rely on my bombards to take out, you know, city walls that have 70 defense, which would take a pretty long time. It's definitely still doable, but it's, I want to try to be as effective as possible, efficient. That's why, you know, you always want to upgrade the bombards, make them into armies and corps as quickly as you can, get them promoted. That's how you're going to conquer land, cities on land very quickly before plains. Look at that, boom, boom. Cities just reduced to rubble. And that's it. Capital's taken. So I opt to leave those two cities alone, those two ones up top, because I will eventually get them through loyalty swapping. So it doesn't really make sense to me to just attack them. I'll get them eventually. I try to make peace, and she's like, nah. I guess when you have so many grievances, they just, you know, they'd rather just fight to the death than make peace.
Our military has...
It is nationalism.
But yeah, now that basically the entire continent is taken over, next video I'm gonna focus on getting that navy out and starting to explore and convert the next continent. So that will be in part 4. So I will see you guys then. Take care.